How's it going, everybody? This is SoFloDad, and I'm here to do a build video for you. Had a lot of people asking about some of the builds that I use, so I wanted to go through a little walkthrough of one of the ones that's had a lot of questions on it. This is actually the Eclipse Protocol build. 4-piece Eclipse with the backpack, chest piece, gloves, and knee pads, and then the vial mask. Right now it's using a improvised holster for the 6th piece of the build. I am looking to change that out to another piece, probably a Golem gear if I can find the right piece. But for right now, this is what we are running. I do run the Harmony as my primary weapon. I switch between my secondary, usually between the Bullet King or the Chameleon. And then the specialization I run is the Firewall. Sorry. Run the Firewall specialization. Let me show you a little bit about how it works, and then we'll go through the pieces and parts and take a look at it. Just in case you haven't already, make sure hit the subscribe button, hit that bell, turn on your notifications so you do know when we post a new video here on YouTube. Otherwise, you can usually catch me live on Facebook Gaming or Twitch. On Facebook, it is facebook.gg/SoFloDad Gaming. On Twitch, it's twitch.tv/SoFloDad. So if you ever want to check me out, make sure you go over those platforms and follow me on my channel so you can see when we go live and catch some of these builds in person. All right, let's go check it out.
Damn! Crappy armor.
So as you can see, it just melts them. Melts an NPC without worry. And then with that Harmony, it just keeps on going. And there you have it. Now the nice thing too is if you wanted to, you could use the Riot Foam launcher and a Bleed Hive, your Stinger Hive. The options are limitless. If you're using shock rounds in the Harmony, then that will also spread because that is a status effect. I typically have 8 charges on my chem launcher. Boom. Just spreads to the next. It's like wildfire.
You're near Espinosa's last known position. The shade node should be close.
Show 'em who we are.
And it's quite literally that simple. It really is, if you are a DPS player that runs perfect glass cannon or glass cannon, you're very accustomed to keeping your head down. This is a very similar style of build.
Shade agent credentials authenticated.
There should be a terminal that'll let you reactivate the node.
Authorization granted. Please stand by.
Let's just check this out.
Intelligence system
You
analytic
never know.
reactivated. All Isaac subsystems.
All right, let's go upstairs.
That was the last.
Let's head for the garage. The garage is fun. It can be a little challenging depending on how many tanks they send you.
Hostile radio intercepted.
Hello? Is this the division?
Usually I just kind of chill until I have my drone back.
How are you on this channel?
Friend of yours gave me a real nice wristwatch. He's right here. Want to talk to him? If you want him back, we can make a deal. You back off, we'll deliver him unharmed. Mostly.
They'll keep him alive. They aren't stupid. Just find that hyena piece of shit and waste her.
So we just keep that drone going on the tank. Now the tanks don't take squat for damage from the fire. But it does kind of keep them occupied.
Serious trauma detected.
Get ready for the second wave.
Fucking beast!
We're gonna burn him. Okay, now we're gonna push to the end of the garage. See what we got here. Should just have the one. And there we go. Garage clear. So even though you get a heavy in there and you're not putting out a massive amount of damage with your regular weapons, as soon as you proc that harmony, it's when you have both of the talents active, you are picking up 40% damage on your weapon and on your skill. So it comes in very, very handy. Generally, I'm not a fan of a rifle, but this is an awesome rifle to run with a skill build, especially if you run the drone. Even if you run a DPS build and you have room in your build, it is a fantastic piece. It's a fantastic addition. Another freaking heavy. Where is she? There we go. Cafeteria clear. Or whatever this is. Now the only thing I haven't tried this on yet is a legendary. And I'm not quite sure how viable this would be in a legendary build.
Agent vital signs 0.
He didn't have to die here.
It is soft, so gotta keep your head down. And sometimes you just have to kind of bide your time.
That bastard can't have gone far yet. Go after her.
Whoa. What was that? It's a nice vector. That's actually really nice. I'm going to hold on to that. Alright, now the fun. We are on our final boss with our Eclipse Protocol build with the Vile Mask. And this one really just comes down to staying well undercover. And being able to move. And you really just kind of hang in the back, clear the ads. Spread it all around. Because you do have some decent reach with this.
Vital signs critical.
Cool. Got two with that shot. Didn't even know they were there. Okay, I think we're down to just Coyote. So we're going to work up to her on the right side. We have a little bit better cover. See if we get any more NPCs to proc. Actually gonna burn Coyote. There we go. So that is the Eclipse Protocol build on a heroic run Jefferson Trade Center. It's not one of the hardest, but it's a quick one so you guys can kind of see what the build does, how it performs, and we'll go back to the White House, take a look at it, and you guys can see what the build looks like. So again, specialization is the firewall, and I do that for a couple reasons. One, because it is a burn build, So if I am in a pinch, I can always pull this out and get somebody burning, and that will also help because that is a status effect. I run the Harmony as my primary. 146.8 damage on this build. It is it's a god roll. 15% rifle damage, 17% crit hit damage, and 9.5 health damage, and it has perfectly in sync. Hitting an enemy grants 20% skill damage for 5 seconds. So using a skill or damaging an enemy with a skill grants 20% weapon damage for 5 seconds. Damage increases are doubled while both buffs are active at the same time. So again, if you're using the drone or you have somebody burning or bleeding and you're hitting them with the rifle, you're getting a 40% buff to your rifle and to your skill damage. So great rifle for a skill build. And then again, secondary, I rarely pull my secondary weapon out. On this particular setup, I have the Bullet King. Quite often I will either use the Bullet King or the Chameleon. Every now and then I'll switch to the Lady Death or the Grudge, because killing an enemy with a status effect applied grants you and all allies within 20 meters 18 crit chance and 18 crit damage for 20 seconds. So if you're close, this is a good one to run as a secondary, especially on a skill-based build. So this is a great secondary weapon option. The Vile Mask. Vile Mask is obviously 1 skill tier, 10% status effects, 9.7 hazard protection, and 11.5 skill haste. The talent is what's called Toxic Delivery. Status effects also apply a damage over time debuff for 10 seconds. Total damage dealt is equal to 50% of your concussion grenade damage and increased by your status effect attributes. A lot of math. It adds up. The additional damage that it does is fantastic, especially on a status build. It's a great piece on a status build. The Eclipse Backpack holster, or Eclipse Protocol holster, Eclipse Protocol backpack. I run a 4-piece set, so I have the 15% status effect bonus, 15% skill haste, and 30% hazard protection. With the 4th piece, you get what's called indirect transmission. Your status effects now spread on kill to all enemies within 15 meters and refresh 50% of the duration. This particular one is 1 skill tier, 12% skill haste, and 9% skill duration. I'm actually going to change that mod out, but right now that's the mod that's in the build. Now with the backpack, you have what's called Symptom Aggravator. Amplifies all damage you deal to status affected targets by 15%. That's the backpack on this build. The chest piece, again, is Eclipse Protocol. Same, not going to read all the stats over again, but on the chest piece, increases indirect transmission range from 15 meters to 20 meters, and the refresh percentage goes from 50 to 75%. So if you are running this build, these 2 pieces make this build phenomenal, in my opinion. But again, that's just, how I feel about the build. Again, 1 skill tier, 12% skill haste, and 9.3% skill duration. Part of the reason for the skill duration mods is when you fire that chem launcher, if you don't have some duration on there, that cloud will dissipate too fast. So sometimes you don't get a bigger area of effect, or it dissipates before they run into it. So that's part of the reason for the skill duration mods. Gloves, again, Eclipse Protocol, 1 skill tier and 10% status effects. Last piece of the Eclipse build is the knee pads, 1 skill tier, 10% status effects. And then my holster, again, is an improvised holster. I crafted it, and the reason that I crafted it is, I haven't decided between switching between this and a Golden Gear yet. I got to find the right Golden Gear holster to try, but it's 1 skill tier. It comes, when you do an improvised holster, you get 2 yellows, or not, I correct that. You can get 2 yellows. I had to craft about 10 of these to get 2 yellows, but you get a yellow mod slot, so you get a skill mod slot. That's the reason I went the improvised holster. You get no attributes from it, as far as, like skill duration that you would get on Murakami. But you get a yellow mod slot, which you don't usually get on any other holster. So that's the reason I went with the improvised. I actually use this here, and I use this on my my crowd control build. So I use this in on double duty. So that's the last piece of the build. Again, I am looking for a... Let's go look at the stash. I am looking for a good Golan Gear holster to test in its place. I just haven't... I haven't found one yet. I just haven't found one, you don't get a mod slot on it, but you do get 10% additional status effect. If I could find one with at least 2 yellows, like if I could find one with a skill core attribute and like a skill haste or a status effect for the second attribute, I really would care what the third one is. I just re-roll it anyway, but I don't have one yet. So I have not been able to find a good all yellow or predominantly yellow Golan Gear. So for right now, that's why I'm running the improvised holster. So that is my build. If you have any questions, comments, leave them down below. And again, don't forget, if you want to see more like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell. Turn on your notifications so you know when we post a new video here on YouTube. So for now, that is it. Ladies and gentlemen, I am signing off, and I will catch you in the next video.